Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jump Force character reviews. This one took a bit longer because I'm planning out some of the other reviews, but today we are covering Kenshin Himura from Ronald Kenshin. I know I'm butchering some of the names, I'm not that great at pronunciations, but Kenshin's one of those characters where I have little experience with his anime. So special thank you to the Jedi Bender for helping me understand Kenshin a little bit more. It would kind of explain to me how his fighting style kind of works as well, oddly enough. But unfortunately, if you are the Jedi Bender, then you're going to hate the following news I'm about to make. When I was going over Kenshin, I was talking to people about this. Apparently, Kenshin is one of the most hated characters in Jump Force, as of right now, and as of when the game came out. But we'll get more into that when we talk about his gameplay style. So the thing about Kenshin is that he was an assassin, so it kind of reflects on his playstyle that I like to run, which is like, wait until the opportunity arises and then just hit him where it hurts. That's a good way to play Kenshin, and it reflects the assassins quite well. But let's go over the former Manslayer, shall we? Again, I'm using Fireball Stream because my stream was so choppy, but this match was so cool in this arena that I had to use it. Okay, so Kenshin is a swordsman. Swordsmen, as you guys know, they tend to have close range attacks. Some swordsmen will have a long range attack to make up for their close range. Kenshin is not one of those. He's all about close range, speed, precision, and striking power. Kenshin has a lot of different sword techniques he can use in his arsenal as far as special moves go. All of them are great for combos as well. His biggest one, as you guys know of, if you play Jump Force, is his right trigger X called 9 Dragon Flash. This will cause Kenshin to go into a dash-like state and knock you back very, very far. It's great for countering heavy pursuit characters, it's great for combos, it's one of those attacks that's just very fast to get off, and it's very reliable, and only costs 1 meter. So already you can see why people hate Kenshin just based off that. His right trigger Y, however, I believe it's called God of the Heavenly Dragon? It is something along that line. What that'll do is cause Kenshin to go into a state of standing still and wait for an opportunity to strike with his blade. From there, Kenshin will strike with a wide stance and slice your opponent up. This is actually a great combo starter because you get armor when you use this move because it costs 2 meter. This move also can go through counter characters like Hisoka's counter, for example, as well as being able to avoid Boa Hancock's Love Beam, which was very odd when we discovered that could happen. However, God of the Flying Dragon is not perfect. It has a little bit of a weird hitbox when you go for it during a combo, but not when you start a combo. So I would more so use it for a combo starter if you can. If you can get it off during the combo, then you're going to be set for a good chunk. And his right trigger V, one of my personal favorites that you saw early on in this footage, called Dragon's Roar. I'm going to put the exact terms in this game, in the footage of course, by double checking the names. Well, what Dragon's Roar basically does is causes Kenshin to do a short little sprint, and he'll collapse his sword and just appear in like a flash. This will cause your opponent to lose mobility and get a mobility debuff, which won't allow them to gain any mobility for some amount of time. It's very useful for someone like Kenshin because with that status move and the ability to slow down heavy pursuit characters, you're going to stand a much better chance against some of them. However, this doesn't mean Kenshin's perfect in every way, shape, and form. Kenshin misses one good attack, and then all of a sudden you get Howitzer impact from someone who plays Bakugo, for example. As far as this ultimate goes, it is one of my favorite ults I like to put on swordsman because it allows you, in fact, I'm going to go back and show you guys the ult one more time. So here it is, Kenshin's ult, his true technique, the Himura Ryu's secret technique. It's not really called this, it's just called Flash of the Heavenly Flying Dragon. This allows Kenshin to dash forward at you and create a vortex of wind that sucks you in and holds you there. And then Kenshin will strike again, dealing massive damage. It's a slower dash ult compared to others, but unlike some of the other dash ults in the game, not only can you use it during a combo, but you can go for a punish attack afterwards. For example, with my old swordsman avatar, what I like to do is go for that move, and then when my opponent is expected, I hit him with a Demon Dweller sword attack. My right trigger Y, for example, because it can lead to some great punishment attacks. Kenshin's playstyle is pretty simple. Get up close, get the damage quick in, and wait for your opportunity to strike. Otherwise, you're going to be left wide open, and you're going to be left for the fishes. As far as support goes, there's 2 ways you can look at Kenshin for supports. If you want to go for range, for example, once you get your Rukia training goes off. Rukia may not be that bad, but having someone like Boa, for example, is not too terrible because of that knockback and pursuit ability. But personally, I found that having like a Piccolo on standby is also not that bad. Even if he goes before Kenshin, using Special Beam Cannon to get a switch into Kenshin is a pretty good idea. It'll cover that range that Kenshin so desperately needs. As far as going for combo wise, there's a different way you can go about this than you would expect. Not something like Chidori or Rasengan, mind you, but something that can get off a multiple hit kind of thing. Nothing like a Kaguya or, you know, Pegasus, for example, but something like a Sanji wouldn't be too bad. But, you know, I have my own problems with Sanji, which I'll go over when I go over Sanji. Hisoka is also not a terrible choice either for this kind of combos playstyle. And neither is Ichigo. Whoever you feel like can help you out with those close range combos is going to be great. Just, I wouldn't recommend picking dashing characters. But for simplicity's sake, I would say just pick Ichigo. Having the one cross blast is very great for combos, not just for Ichigo, but for any character he's helping out with support. Now, before I get my final score, I just want to say this. Yes, I know the reputation of Kenshin is horrible. Everyone hates him, and that's because his special maneuvers are so easy to get off and so quick that people can just use them countless times. But that doesn't make a character bad, and that doesn't make people who play the character bad. It just means that you haven't quite learned it. There are ways to counter Kenshin, such as ranged characters like Ryoseiba, Gaara, and to my surprise, Seto Kaiba is also a great counter to someone like Kenshin. Even Yugimoto is a counter to Kenshin. The thing I don't get is why people hate Kenshin so much. He's one of those characters that's meant for beginner players. If you're just learning the game, then you can definitely pick up Kenshin, learn the ropes of him right away, and you can move on from there if you feel like you've mastered everything about Kenshin. If Kenshin gets so much flack, then why doesn't Zoro? Zoro is basically just like Kenshin. He's got attacks that are very useful, some attacks that, in my opinion, are a bit more broken. For example, his one lying attack, where he has that unblockable, is more broken than anything Kenshin has, because none of Kenshin's abilities are able to go through a guard. Sure, you can say the right trigger Y is a guard breaker, but that's completely understandable compared to something like Zoro's. I feel like Kenshin gets hate he does not deserve, and for Kenshin, I would rank him at an 8.5 out of 10. This guy is amazing. There's no real problems with Kenshin besides the fact, you know, while you are going to get hated, his biggest lack is, of course, the range game, and there are just so many ways to counter that style of play in particular. Overall, if you're learning the game and you don't want to just play Zoro, give Kenshin a try, see what you prefer, and you can pretty much set up your Jump Force fighting style just from there. Well, that's going to do it for Kenshin's Jump Force review. Kenshin was a whole lot of fun to go over, actually, and I want to talk about this real quick, about what one of the next episodes is going to be, because I've been looking forward to this next episode. I'm going to try to download my footage. It's not going to look the best, but I am working on, as you guys can see, Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock is going to be covered by Fireball. Fireball's finally going to have a chance to do a review. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now, actually. And I figured, you know, out of the One Piece characters, I feel like Boa was probably the most fun to go back and play, and as well as, you know, one that I feel like people should give a shot. And it's going to be great for someone like Fireball, because he's never really played that much of Boa until this stream happened. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the Kenshin review. Again, thank you so much to Fireball, of course, for getting the footage, and of course to the Jedi Bender for helping me understand how Kenshin really is as a character, to help me kind of understand and give an unbiased opinion on Kenshin's fighting style. Until then, I will see you all later.